the People's Mic with none other than Mickela Panday. So welcome. And of course I have Renata, my co-host.
What's up, Kim?
So we're here again, going to tackle some tough topics. But really and truly for this first episode, we want to figure out what the podcast is about, more about Mickela Panday. And
what people can expect, really.
Correct. Because this is just the beginning of a very long journey that we have ahead of us.
Long and exciting.
Yeah.
And fun.
Fun.
Yes.
We have to have fun while we're doing
Gotta
stuff.
do it, otherwise you stop enjoying it.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely, we're gonna have fun, and it's great to be back here,
Yes.
little girls.
Yeah, I mean,
Good to
but to
see
kick
you.
things off, before we get into the heavy stuff, let's kick things off with a little icebreaker. Yeah, and it's called Two Truths
And a Lie.
So basically what you're going to do is you're going to come up with two things about yourself or two scenarios, things that happened in your life that are true, and then one lie, and then Ren and I are going to try to figure out which
And the
one
people
is.
that are
But
viewing.
yes, they can actually chime in the comments. But yeah, we're going to try to figure out which one
is the lie?
The lie.
That'll be interesting.
Do
Okay,
you
good.
Good. Think you could, on the spot, come up with two truths and a lie? Do you have it?
It's good. I'm a politician. Two truths and a lie. Let's do it.
Ouch.
It should be easy.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, I once won a hula hoop competition.
Hula hoop. Okay.
Hula hoop competition.
Okay.
I won it. Why you want to laugh at me?
I didn't even know it's a
Hello? You're
That's
missing
what I'm
out on life.
Serious?
You're missing out.
So like what? It has music and stuff.
Of course, because you have to
okay.
hula.
Yes.
You're hulaing in the vacuum.
Right,
You're
sorry.
hulaing to a song.
Yeah.
So I once won a hula hoop competition
Locally?
locally.
Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna look for a video. I once did a skydive.
Okay.
Like a real one, right?
A
Not
real
like,
sky-
okay.
That
good.
is simulation.
Yeah.
No, a real skydive.
Cool.
And I spoke to Mrs. Passad Vicessa last week. I'm good at this. So two truths and a lie.
Yeah, I
Are you
don't-
allowed
I
to
feel
question
as
me?
though-
There's a show.
I feel I need some more
Information
Yes,
on them.
I need clarification on a
Are you
couple
allowed to
things.
probe on this though?
I think we should be able to ask one question,
question.
on each, of the
Yeah.
three.
I already asked like two for the hula hoop thing though.
Okay, go on now. You can ask again.
At what age did you win this hula hoop competition?
You're trying to embarrass me on national television. If I tell you last week. So two truths and a lie. Right. Obviously, I was younger. I was younger.
Okay.
I was
Alrighty.
younger. I was a teenager.
Okay. And skydiving, which country?
The UK
Okay.
and England.
And with Mrs. Passad Vicessa, that conversation, what was it about?
It was about the weather.
That's
It's been raining
Right.
so much these days.
Well, I would like to say that I think the third one is a lie.
I spoke to Mrs. Passad. Okay. You think I want a hula hoop
No, I
competition?
don't. I'm not
As a
buying the hula
teenager.
hoop thing though. Because I've never heard about a hula
You
hoop.
both think I jumped out of a plane.
Yes. I can see
I
you
think
doing that.
I
think you're adventurous
You're
enough for
bold,
that.
yeah. I can see that.
I can see it.
But picture the hula.
I mean, I guess you have the personality for it, but I've
You do.
never heard about a hula hoop
competition, yeah. But then again, I have more questions now. Was the competition an actual competition? Was it like in a birthday party settings where, was it a national thing? Like, I have questions. But is that
A national hula hoop?
I don't know.
Honestly,
I don't know.
I entered the competition.
Entered the
Okay,
competition.
I entered.
Okay.
And I won. Because I hulaed for longer than anybody else.
How long?
How long?
It must have been
Can't
about
remember.
5 minutes.
Ooh, that's really
minutes.
long.
But
Because
then you
remember
want,
when you're hulaing, you can go down, you can
Yes.
turn it around your foot, and
but then
don't know
you were an
nothing.
athlete as well. So being a teenager, being able to hula hoop for 5 minutes.
Nah, that's a lie. I am not buying this hula hoop thing at all.
But it's how we are okay with the skydiving. We're like,
yeah, I can see her.
But hula?
no.
And Mrs. Pasabi says so.
Okay, so would you like to tell us which one is the lie?
What do you guys think?
Yeah, first of all, what do you guys think?
What do you all think?
I
To think that you all would think I would jump out of a plane before Mrs. Pasabi says would come and speak to me. It's so easy. But anyway. What do you
is
guys
lie?
think? And tell me, what do you,
So what is the lie?
I spoke to Mrs. Pasabi Sessa last week.
That's the lie?
That's the lie.
yeah, the minute she told me, she couldn't
So
explain what the conversation was.
But
She
now,
said, "Whether."
now back
I saw it in
to
your
hula hoop.
face.
Where was this competition? Is it like an ongoing
It's just
annual
not
thing?
it was would you like to guys, I will be hosting in my name a hula hoop competition. And if you would like to take part, put your
Enter.
names forward. Yeah.
And
I like it. I will come. I can't
think
hula, but I will be there for the...
Judging.
I have to see this. I have to
You
see
don't
this.
understand. You must Google hula hooping. It's a serious thing.
I would imagine.
I can imagine it.
It is.
But I just have to say that I got it right.
Yeah, good job, Kim. All right, so let's get into the meat of this discussion. I mean, we're gathered here obviously for something much more bigger than hula hoops. And it's for the podcast. Tell us a bit about what people can expect from the People's Mic podcast.
I really want to have discussions about things, not only current, but things that are sometimes seen as taboo. Mental health issues. I feel speaking about things can help to destigmatize a lot of issues that in this country, whether it is culturally or otherwise, that there are negative stigmas attached to it, but issues that affect people on a, dare I say, non-political, everything is politics. When I say non-political, without speaking about others, without saying what everybody else not doing, and what the government hasn't done and the opposition, we know what they haven't done. So we want to talk about something else and solutions. I feel this is so important to get other people's views. So we're going to have guests on as well. Invite our viewers and our listeners to come on and to also discuss topics they would want to talk about. I think that's so important. One of the things that I always say is that there's a huge disconnect between politicians and the people. And I feel somebody has to step forward to break that trend or to norm where you can ask. I would like people to ask me questions as well.
Do you think that gap has contributed to some of the issues that we have in society today?
Of course it has. Of course it has. Because those in power and those who aspire for power don't have any clue of what's happening on the ground.
Yeah.
They don't know what are the issues affecting people. I don't expect them to be going through the same things, but in order for you to understand, in order for you to empathize with people, in order for you to legislate, in order for you to make policies, to fix the problems, you must know what the problems are.
Yeah.
How are you going to know what the problems are? With no disrespect intended, they don't go to their offices. They don't have a constituency day. 41 people running 41 constituencies in Trinidad and Tobago. You must, whether in government or not. My father did it and he was the prime minister. And he found the time. You must have a day, even if you have to stay there till 10 o'clock. I believe Mr. Manning used to do it as well in San Fernando East. and my father in Cuba North. You must have a day where you can sit and see people, speak to people. I have tried myself to see MPs, not for anything personal, but to raise issues that other people have come to me with. They're not in their office, you have to send them an email, they will see the email. If the email is worthy, they will then send you back something. And I mean, it's called a member of parliament sitting in the House of Representatives. You are a member representing. Now, I believe in constitutional reform, and it's hard if a minister is the Minister of Health or Culture, national security, to be able to run a constituency, but then we need to change the constitution and let ministers not be MPs. That's something that my father advocated for all of his life. Before I was born, he was saying, the same thing. So to me, people need to have a voice.
Yes.
We say the people's mic. That they have a voice, that they can come, that they can vent their concerns, and I need to make it very clear, as we girls have spoken about this. This isn't a bashing platform.
Correct.
So we make that very, very clear. We treat people with class, grace, and respect. This isn't to say who do what and this and who personal life. You have the parliament for that.
We have enough forums for
You
that.
have enough forums for that. We're not there to do that.
Yeah.
But you have some ideas of what's going on and you have a contribution to make. Absolutely.
I think it's important also for those who might be too young to remember that you're not speaking from a place where you don't know. You actually were a member of parliament yourself.
Yes, I was.
So you're speaking from that place of experience and knowing what it is like to represent people. So I just want to remind people, in case they forgot.
Because it's always, what have you done? You haven't done
Correct.
anything, and you haven't this, and you have no experience. And yes, and I was the first member of parliament for Oropouche West. And it was a wonderful experience. And, you can see faults in society, but sometimes you also have to look for solutions.
Of course.
100%.
100%.
Because what's the purpose of discussing the
I
problems?
think all of us know the problems,
We have a culture of talking about the problems
Yes.
and all the things, and this is wrong, and who do it wrong, and who do it
Yes.
right, and this kind of thing. And I say, the people who are going through so many issues in their lives right now, trust me, they have the solution to the problems. I have done so many, because we call it the Patriotic Front Revolution Tour. We go into different constituencies. If it's a flooding issue, trust me, they can tell you why the flooding is happening and what needs to be done.
Yes.
Before you bring any kind of structural engineer or anything else. Anything that is affecting people, if there is no water, people know the answer. And I just think the people's mic will allow people to express themselves, but in a safe space, healthy conversation.
Yeah. And it's so important to have accountability and transparency when we're talking about governance. And I think that's one of the things you see people commenting about on social media, the need for accountability and transparency here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, it's one thing that we lack. And because there's no accountability and transparency, you get waste, corruption, and mismanagement. Because accountability and transparency cancels out that. It may not be able to cancel it out completely, but it can definitely deter it, because you have to be accountable how you spend the people's money. How you spend the money, how you award contracts must be transparent. When you're making decisions such as closing the people's refinery, closing down their sugarcane industry, when you're making decisions on their behalf, surely they should know what's going on. And that's what accountability is. I am accountable. I am held accountable for my actions.
Yeah.
And what you find instead is this. You come out of government and it's like it never happened. Your accountability does not exist in government, and it doesn't exist out of government. So it never exists. Transparency, the ownership. You will hear me saying it over and over again. The ownership of the resources of this country belongs to the people of this country and not politicians. It belongs to the people, the land, the oil, the asphalt, the natural gas belongs to the people. We aspiring to get into government are there to manage it. I want people to understand that. Stop and just let it soak in. They are managers working for the people. And
What are some of the ways that you intend to be accountable to the people? How does that look for you?
when I say accountability and transparency, it's going to have to be on a number of different levels.
Okay.
How you spend people's money has to be first and foremost. If you are going to award contracts, I believe the Procurement Act has been passed sometime, there must be transparency in how contracts are awarded. People don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Which is why we hear over and over again about bribes being given, allegedly being given to people in power, and they're given bribes, and these bribes then allow them certain privileges. But if you do things in an open way, bidding openly, how much was bid? Who got it? What's wrong with that? Ask yourself what is wrong with that. If you've done something in an open and legit way, would you not want people to know?
Of course.
I
I
want
want
people
everybody
to
to
know.
know.
Yeah.
It promotes healthy competition.
Yeah.
You know, things just, the way that things operate in Trinidad. To continue on your question, remove all of this bureaucracy. It prevents and stifles accountability and transparency. Because you had to go here, to go there, to go there, to come back round here, then go up, so come back down. Within that, you know how much bubble happened?
And here's the thing, right? When you start in one point, they'll tell you need X, Y, Z. Then you'll reach down and realize, wait, now I need like 10 other things. Why did they tell me that at the beginning? And you're just like, they should have just told me that in the beginning.
My phrase is, everything is done by design. And I'll say it over and over. You refuse to remove red tape. For people who don't understand what, bureaucracy or red tape, the amount of things and circles you have to go in to get something done, to me, creates a breeding ground for nonsense. You can't get accountability from everybody. There's no transparency. You start to get waste. Agree? You start to get corruption, because it hide away in all the papers.
Yeah.
And you start to get mismanagement. And that's why accountability and transparency is so important. You have to know how the people who are working for you is spending your money.
Yeah.
You have to know why can't involve people in governance? Those who want to be, obviously, but why not? Everything have to be a secret.
And I can tell that you're extremely passionate about country. And I'll shift the conversation just a little bit onto the legacy that is Mickela Panday and his impact on you, and what you're doing right now, and how has that impacted you on this path and journey that you decided to take in politics, because it's not easy. And being, I would boldly say this, I think being a woman also in this business, so to speak, it's even harder. So where does this come from? How did this light, got sparked in you?
I don't know. When some people say, an age-old question is, are leaders born or are they made? I don't know the answer to that. I think discipline, hard work, selflessness, love for country. All these things are traits that are important in a politician. Independently of being a politician, those traits were present in my father. Like, just a great guy. He's just a fabulous dad, a good friend, you know, and from all his stories and everything I know from his brothers and his sisters, the best brother anybody could want. Looked after all his brothers and sisters. Did so up to the days that he died. The best uncle. Can go to him with anything, never have to be embarrassed. The greatest husband. You know, there are few human beings that can live their lives in that way, you know. So because of all those great traits, and he had a great sense of humor, he was extremely witty, and you would know people who did not vote for him still say, I love Bad.
But here's the thing. The wittiness, I think.
You think I inherited it?
Yes, I certainly do.
Is, you know, he never took himself too seriously. He taught us girls humility, the importance of kindness. We're not perfect. Everybody gets angry, everybody gets stressed, everybody gets depressed, everybody has their things going on. But when you start to learn all of that, so the legacy is not about him as a politician that you kind of upholding or making sure he's alive. It's just a great person.
I love the way that you're explaining this, because when you think about politicians, Kimberly, most of the times you just see them as corrupt. Let's be honest. You could be honest here, right? Corrupt people, power hungry. Those are some of the words that come to
across,
mind.
yeah.
And I mean, if you pay attention to social media, it's echoed everywhere, literally.
Because sometimes it's true.
Well, but I love how what I'm hearing from you is what makes a great politician is when the politician is a good human. If you're not a good human being, then qualities like corrupt and
will engulf and take
Exactly.
over you when you've got catalysts or triggers.
Yes.
Like money and power. And it can bring in the worst of human beings. But if you're a good person, and you're striving to be a good person, and you live your life as a good person, surely you will be a good politician. And that's what he was. And his legacy does not need me. It is a giant that speaks for itself. I will create my own. That's how it, works.
How do you, so when you get there, like, because you're speaking there, right?
That's how we speak.
When you get there, and I know a lot of people may ask this question, how do you stay grounded when you get to that point? How do you remain the good human?
To me, it's simple. Everybody has a belief, so I can only speak for me.
Yeah.
God is an important part. God, spirituality, something bigger than myself, than us as human beings. Your family, your friends, people around you, they keep you grounded. So you have to keep yourself. People who will tell you outright, that song real, don't what you say there. Oh, that's not the right top to wear. I think that's my mother. Comb your hair with it before you go out. But no, and do real people things.
Yeah.
So I go to Price Mart, or I like to go to the market. I think we're supposed to see what's going on with the farmers, go to the beach if you like to go by the river, if you like to do hiking. You may not have the time for these things, I understand. But there are things that can keep you grounded. Don't lose who you are, but then you have to know who you are before you go in.
What was it like being the daughter of the Prime Minister?
Oh
growing
yeah,
up?
I would. Yes, please.
Hard.
I can imagine.
You know,
Why hard?
well, let me answer the first part. I'll tell you this one. It was not hard in one sense. Let's put it in perspective. There was the Prime Minister and then there was Dad.
Yeah.
And they're two different people. So your role and what goes on in your life is very different when this is my dad. Your dad is at home, you talk to your dad. You know, it's a different, just like other people are with their parents or their uncles or their grandparents or whatever it is. And then the Prime Minister is the Prime Minister. And you have respect for the office of the Prime Minister and whoever is there. There's a lot of protocol and those things, and we follow them. My mother keeps us and kept us always very grounded. Not because your father is the Prime Minister. You're better than anybody. You have to stop working as hard as you were working. And one of the things I'll tell you, I was actually studying abroad at the time my dad had become the Prime Minister. And I was working, I was staying at an auntie's house, and I was working at what they call a chemist, it's a pharmacy, a place called Motswa Park near Wimbledon. My father became the Prime Minister and I continued to work. You know, he wasn't going to be the Prime Minister forever. What was I going to do? You had to continue. What was going to happen afterwards? People judge you immediately, and your peers, and you know, people think that doors are just opened. For us, it didn't feel like that at all. It felt, and maybe because we were girls, you have to look at other prime ministers and their children. And it was 4 girls that you were dealing with. So, to me, and my life has always been, because my dad was leader of the opposition before I was born, the bar is always higher, set higher for me and my sisters and other people. And I don't look at that as a victim and cry down yourself. That's good. Give me something to aspire and achieve. But again, my dad is the coolest person, you know, the coolest person. So yeah, things that young people do. So we were teaching him how to whine one time. I was like a teenager. So I said, Dad, you know, there's a new way that you do, like you're whining and stuff. It's not like you have to move your whole body, and you have to just like this part of your body has to stay still, and you just move the hips, whatever, right?
Yes.
So I said, so we put a cushion in front of you, so it should look like nothing's happening when you're like moving.
Yes.
I mean, silly things, Christmas time, things that kids do with their parents. And he was a great parent, great parent. And we were sheltered a lot from what was going on out there.
Okay.
So you got treated normal in school. You behave normal in school. You cannot believe your own hype or somebody else's. Mm-hmm. And my mother wasn't easy. I mean, if you have anybody out there who has brothers and sisters and all this, or anybody there who has kids that's watching, you have 4 girls, you gotta keep them busy.
Yeah.
You know, 2 great parents. And so legacy is so much more than your father was the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Would have been a whole lot more than just what meets the eye. And
Did you ever try to sneak out? Yeah. Did you get caught?
you got caught?
How poor of me to do that. Yes, my mother is a detective. She's a detective. But I can't lie. Because what happens is, I start to act dodgy.
Yeah.
You can't start to be making your mother tea and all kind of thing. Oh, Mom, you want your foot squeezed, what you need, clean your room.
This is out of character.
Clean your bath. You know, you're doing your things, but you're doing over and above. Mom, I will
Yeah.
fold all the clothes. Don't worry. I will do that. You know what I mean? Just acting suspicious.
Yes.
That is it. Because you know and you're guilty, but absolutely I did. And I must say, warning, please don't, nobody sneak out of their house. And just adding to that, that was a different time.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
100%.
So we had so many of us lived in the neighborhood. So we had like my older sister and my cousin, Pam, and then all of them of that age, and then it was my age and my neighbor, and then my younger sister. So it was action.
Yeah.
And then right across from where I live in Sunkist, we had a next set of us across there. And so yeah, enough time to do mischief. Enough time.
But I absolutely, love to hear these stories, these lighter stories, because it breeds a level of relatability. People need to understand that you're human too. You experience very human things, and you're not exempt from the human experience. Even though you're out there, your face is out there, your name has been out there forever. You're a human being at the end of the day. But Mickela Panday, outside of politics, does she like hiking? Clearly, she likes to skydive, and she can hula hoop.
I did it once for charity, and it was one of the slowest experiences I ever felt, but the fastest my heart has ever beat. Oh. But yeah.
But who are you outside of this, what people see, what is presented to them on social media, when you do interviews and stuff like that? Because you're quite an adventure seeker, in my opinion.
Yeah. I also did a bungee jump
Really? Where,
nice.
might I ask?
in the UK off Chelsea Bridge.
Ugh.
It was good. I think it was about 300 meters. It was good. I like to do those kinds of things. I like theme parks.
Ooh.
I really like theme parks.
Okay.
I don't get time to do these things, but I love people and family and friends and talking, plenty talking. Listen, just spending time with people. People say where you like to go. No matter where I go.
Was there people
We sit
around?
down right there, we have a good time on the side of the road. If we sit on the side of the road, we have a good time.
Yeah.
The walkabouts we have a great time. But I like chow.
I noticed like there's this trend. We need to start bringing a bowl of chow on this podcast, because
Bring
every time I
it
hear you
in.
speak, I always hear you talk about chow.
Yes.
So hear this. My people close to me know pepper and chow and that kind of thing. It gives me a sense of joy. So if something has gone wrong,
Drink chow.
you start to smell bandana going on in the office and then, and bandana.
Do you have a favorite type of chow?
Yeah, I go for everything. All
Everything.
kinds.
Wow, okay.
Listen, from young I like pepper and I eating chow.
Yeah.
Carrot chow, cabbage chow.
Carrot. And
Carrot with some Worcester sauce, with a cinnamon. They see me swallowing. And I was like, yes, I'm thinking about it. Scorpion pepper. I could talk about pepper. We could do a whole podcast on pepper, chocolate
Oh, yeah.
pepper.
I know
pepper.
Renata specifically.
Like pepper?
With this
Do you all guys like pepper?
I love pepper. A lot of pepper.
I like, and chow.
Yeah, I like chow.
So chow and pepper releases endorphins.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
So you get happy.
Yes.
So I'm a happy person.
Yes.
But Kimberly, there's so much buzz on social media. You're trending. You know that, right?
Okay, so I'm hearing this.
Well, I'm telling you, you're trending.
So I'm hearing this.
So you did an interview with Daniel, from What You Know,
Yes.
and that is trending.
Listen, I don't even know what to say to that. I just feel happy and humbled
I
and
mean, and people have so much to say here.
Yeah.
Yeah?
yeah.
People have a lot to say. We're going to read some of the comments.
So-
Oh my God, are you?
Yeah!
Yeah, I'm gonna read some of the comments from that particular thing, because I want the people to see your reaction. You know, a lot of times you would see the videos and then people would comment and some people might wonder, I wonder if Mickela will see this boy. Well, today's might be the day that Mickela
We're seeing it.
you will
We're seeing
hear
it. We're gonna hear it. We're gonna hear it.
Okay. So, comment number 1. Love this girl, love her dad. Next comment. And I could call the names, right? So we could probably do it. We could get little snippets of it. So, Krishna Jagwal. The first one would have been from Vonnet Bigfoot.
Love you, Vonnet. I know Vonnet. Thank you.
So, Krishna Jagwal. I've never seen a child of any politician in Trinidad and Tobago take so much traits from their political father. She sounds everything like her father. She's so passionate and appears by nature to be a good person.
Oh, thank you, Krishna.
Really hope she gets an opportunity soon to serve in a leadership role in our beautiful country.
Thank you.
Someone says the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
My God.
I would definitely vote for this woman. That's from Juma Simmons.
Thank you, Gemma.
Jenny said, class act, she is.
Yep.
Jenny.
So someone said, why don't we just try Mickela and see? I want to see what her manifesto is like.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to be releasing our manifesto very soon, and we'll let them know, obviously, on our podcast. But yes.
Right, and then we have Alistair Humble said, I really hope TNT wake up and vote for betterment rather than race and mentality of my grandparents was a PNM and UNC, so I'll vote for that. One of the key points I heard she said was continuing projects that were being done by the previous party or parties.
Yeah.
There's a lot of projects that are abandoned after a party won election.
That's
and
right.
our taxpayers' money are being wasted. For instance, there are lots of schools that, haven't been opened as yet. Listen, you need to read them. There are over 500 comments. Ren, you want to read
Oh, I
any
feel
more?
so emotional by that.
Because I have a few more I can go
Go
to.
ahead.
Someone said, not a fan of politics myself. This from the daughter of a loyal foot soldier. That said, Mickela does seem like a glimmer of hope for the
Okay, so I'm
distant
getting
future.
really embarrassed.
So I wish she's given an opportunity to run this country. Very
So
well
sweet.
spoken. I would vote for her.
Oh, I know it's just going to make me upset.
I'll
It's not
definitely
making
vote for
upset.
her.
It's just making me very happy.
Yeah. There's so much. So charismatic like her dad. She's a female version of her dad.
Oh.
She's so humble. She made time out of her day to do this interview.
Oh, just, that's so nice.
She loves her people and country and would certainly make it a better place for us. She has a heart for Trinidad and Tobago. She takes pride and interest and learns every detail that needs attention. Mickela Panday deserves a chance to continue what her father wanted for Trinidad.
My God, you have to stop. You'll have to stop. Can
When
I
you
have
get-
a little tissue? Tissue.
When you get a moment,
I am going to read every single one.
yeah.
I'm going to sit down with a bowl of chow. And, sorry, not all, one. Yeah, no, that is really, really, really nice. Really, really nice, because when you're working and doing your thing and you don't really know if it's getting out there.
The impact that you're having.
If it's getting out there, if people are listening, or change is such a frightening thing for people, and you've done something the same way your entire life. That's one side. The next side is that young people think, and I think you read one of the comments, a young person said, I don't like politics, but this is something I would think about. That means so much to me, because everything they say about politics is negative.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like that. And I want everyone to join in on this crusade to change the face of politics, and and what it's seen as, and what the people are seen as. And for it to be something you can join and feel proud. To say, I'm a politician. And that people on the street will respect you and say, we like our politicians. I don't see it as a dream, I see it as a goal that we can achieve, for sure.
Yeah. What's next for you, Mickela, in the coming weeks? Do you have any upcoming projects that you want to tell the people about?
Yeah, sure. So what we're going to be doing, obviously, is I want to launch our full website,
Okay.
which will have the manifesto, so to say, online. I think the days for printing manifestos have gone.
Yes.
Everybody has access to a phone. You can, sort of type in the website, thepatrioticfront.com, and read it. It's also easier to find things that interest you. So you think, what is the solution for crime? What's your housing? Or what do we have for youth? So you can do that. We have comment sections that you can say what you feel about the manifesto. So we're going to launch that. That's going to be really exciting. I also think in terms of the environment, you can't be preaching that you're concerned about the environment and then printing a whole set of these glossy books. And so we won't be doing that. So that will be online and people will know a bit more about that. Our ground, what we call the Patriotic Front Revolution Tour, that is our ground tour. So that's physically visiting constituencies. That continues. And on the website, you will also see where we're going. I believe the next place is Sama Barataria. People call us all the time. So, you arrange those walks. They're just lovely. One of the things we're going to start is what you call town hall meetings.
Okay.
So to go back into answering your question, how to give people a voice. I don't do meetings in the traditional way where you stand up and talk to people. Really? I think that's a little bit outdated. But you have them in such a way where people can speak to you and make contributions themselves. So we're looking at that. And we'll also be looking to hold a youth forum, which I tell you 100% because it's so many people have called for it. And we're talking a little bit more about that, but something exciting and fun for young people. Not to come and sit for 6 hours and listen to people talk to you. We're gonna put.
Nobody wants to do that.
Nobody wants to do that. I mean, for you to actually come out now, as opposed to doing something online, you gotta have a reason to come out that's exciting and fun. So we'll be talking more about that on our next episodes.
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward. And I mean, this is a space where persons can chime in, let us know if there are issues that you all want us to address here on the show. We're going to have guests on, so there's lots to look forward to, really.
And of course, make sure and click the like, follow, share button.
We're on
comments.
TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook.
So we're everywhere, literally. So there's no excuse. Make sure and follow us. It's going to be a journey we only started. This has been episode 1.
Looking forward.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.